flaquito and, waiting for people. And he had 2 properties and he had all that. And I would think to myself, man, why is he here 7 days a week? You know what I mean? Like, man, go enjoy your life, homie. You're already on top of your game, You're okay. You're surviving. You don't need to be here, you know what I mean? You go enjoy it. Well, I would see him weekly because I'd go out there to Mexico and I'll see him. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, ¿cómo está? Hey, ¿cómo está? Bien. All right. You need anything? Nah, I'm okay. And, because his prices were too expensive. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. But he was on his holly, wouldn't leave, wouldn't do nothing, wouldn't keep it off. And I didn't see him for like 4 months. And when I went back, that was about 2 months ago, 3 months ago when I went back again. Mm-hmm. But I didn't see him for 4 months. I see a homeboy kind of like walking towards the place. Now, in this area, I'm always truchas of who's who, When you go to Mexico, you always got just, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
look out, be alert. Don't be a dummy, And I seen this homeboy, and you could tell he was kind of representing LA, estilo. Mm-hmm. And I look at him, he looks at me, and then he takes off. Well, I come around, and sure enough, I bump into that old man's shop. And I was like, hey, what's up, Holmes? ¿Qué onda ese? And like, hey, ¿qué onda? And like, hey, what's up, man? You bought the place? What's up? Where's homeboy at? And he goes, oh, you're talking about my brother. I'm like, yeah, ¿dónde está el ruquillo? Mm-hmm. He goes, apenas se murió. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah. I go, no wonder I didn't see him here for like 4 months. He goes, yeah. He got cancer in the stomach, And towards the end, he was a good friend of mine, and he was like he was my best friend. And he was mad at me because I was trying to help him out and he didn't want the help. He was in agony, Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what? And he's all like, yeah. He goes, buy anything what you want if you know. And like, look, big dog. Oh, man. I was like, man, Holmes, I would, like, mm-hmm. I was kind of agüitado because he was more interested in the finances than he was into his life, mm-hmm. And he was already on top of his game. So you figure you go enjoying the rest of the years that you have, than to just go off and get malias and pass away, Mm-hmm. And I go, man, I would, me and him would have some conversations like, hey, you ever think about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sit him down. And, whenever you get a chance, you chop it up, homie. You know what I mean? You spit some game at him. You know what I mean? Not to be a dog or whatever. You spit some game at him so you can get a little something,
Mm-hmm.
And we would chop it up, and this and that. And you're like, yeah, I've been out there in the United States and I got a green card and whatever. But when this canal came in, and when I got there and this canal told me he had passed away, I was like, oh, man. I was a little bit agüitado, And he's all like, buy whatever you want. Take it all. I don't care. Give me what you want. I said, man. He goes, pa enterrarlo, ya lo vamos a enterrar. He had money. He had everything. I go, what about the properties, Holmes? He goes, we're going to sell them. We already got them for, they're ready to go, And he gave me the number and everything. I'm like, yee. They weren't playing. They were ready. And him and the older brother were already fighting for everything.
God.
And I was like, damn, man, He goes, take it. Let me get you some boxes. And he got a gang of freaking boxes from the back. He goes, take whatever you want. I'm like, yeah, And I was putting the things away, I didn't say nothing, I wasn't excited. I wasn't like, oh, it's a come up, I go, yeah, whatever, you know what I mean? It's going to be a feed him at price if he gives it to me, cool, I mean, whatever. But as I'm putting these things in the boxes, dog,
mm-hmm.
I'm looking at these things, and I'm looking at the box, and I'm looking at the location, and I'm looking at the chair where he would sit at. Like, man, homie, all this life spent just over this bull crap that is rubbish.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't have the familia like that. You know, he didn't get to really enjoy life like that. You know, it wasn't like, you know, that he was grateful, thankful, cheery, showing the love of God in his heart, giving, kind. You know, he was just grumpy old man, dog. You know, his legs crossed and his coffee, you know what I mean? And just looking at everybody, like mad dogging everybody. But, you know, it goes to show you, Holmes, you know what I mean? That life is precious. And any day that you could go, you're gonna go, Holmes, you know what I mean? Out of 100 people, 100 people is gonna go meet the maker, you know? And as I was packing up that boxes, I was like, man, you know, all this for that and para nada, you know? Who's next, you know what I mean? And as I packed all that up, I gave him some feria. He was like this. When I gave him the money, I'm like, I go, this is how much you would give it to me, but how much will you give it to me? You know? He was, take it out. And at the end of it, I gave him a lot of money. He was like, oh, man, I go, it's a good price, Holmes. He goes, oh, definitely a good price because we're shutting everything down, you know? And I went away, and I was like, man, I felt out of agüitado, dog, but that was a lesson for me, you know? That was a lesson. It's not just about Holly. It's not about just chasing your dream like that, homie. It's about seeking the kingdom of God first, and everything else should be added to you, dog. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to be a Bible thumper. That don't mean all that, homie. It's just make room for God in your life, homie. So he could use you at every time, anytime, dog. Don't block your blessings, dog. You feel me? Don't block your blessings. You stay open for whatever he wants to use you. So what? You're doing this. So what if you're insane? So what, homie? How many people he hasn't used while their people were under the influence to go change other people? Our blajos, weren't they fixing up? Wasn't he about to go and handle this business with this individual who was coming out of the South because his name was on this so-called list? Huh? Wasn't it on there? But yet he had told him about Christ, and he was a backslider. He wasn't living the duties of the way he's supposed to be living, but they were used to change this individual. So whether or not you're living in sin or you're not, or whatever the case might be, you still stay open for whenever he wants to use you. For 2026, are you going to be flexible to be used by God? Are you going to be able to handle some of the things that come with the blessing? You know, are you able to stand the new trials and tribulations that are going to come your way? How is it that you're going to perfect your ways into closer to God, into being a firme gente? You know, stop closing your heart, start closing your mind. Open up your eyes, open up your heart, open up your soul. Be open, understandable. Don't be prideful. Pride comes before a fall. It's not you that builds everything up. It's not about you doing all this. So what? You could be just like that man doing all this and freaking die out of stomach cancer, you know? All this property, all this, and, you know, my kids are sick, my kids are that, and this, and that. But you, where you at? Where are you going to be heading to? You know? Be kind, be gentle, be respectful, be genuine, be classy, be understandable, be wise, have wisdom, Ask God for wisdom for 2026 so you can make better decisions. And if they hurt you, fine. It's okay. Keep it to the side and keep on stepping. Don't hold back your life. Don't hold back your blessings for individuals that really don't cherish or care for even have your time, homie. They could care less. It's okay. Don't hate them for that. Because just like you have your path and your mission, they have their path and their mission. Mm-hmm. And if they're stubborn and they're hard-headed and they're scandalous, let them stay that way for them. That you go do you. You know? Doesn't mean you're a dog and you're dogging them out, but you got to keep on stepping. He says, though I walk through the valley, he says, shadows of death. Are you going to encamp there? Are you going to stay there? You're going to go forward. How are you going to know about the promised land if you just heard about it, but you don't pursue it? Mm-hmm. That's funny. I think that's kind of stupid. You hear about the promised land, but then nada, homie. You feel me? Nada. You got to go fulfill it. Go fulfill your mission. Go live it up. Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to live it up. Not like that, Dumbo. Not living it up a bolo. Live it up, man. Enjoy it. Whatever God has gave you, hey, enjoy it. Hey, keep on stepping. Some things are going to work. Some things are not going to work. But it's not the end of the world. You're still alive. 2026, prepare yourself. It's a new you. Fix up your collar. Look representable. Smile. It's okay. Go cut your hair. Go do your nails. Go look nice. You know? Representable. It's a new you. Oh, but we're apostolics and man. Stop believing that nonsense, homie. If that's the case, grow your beard and have chanclas like Jesus, homie. You know? That's nonsense. Be respectful. Be representable. Be blessed. Have the heart of the Jesus within you. The joy of the Lord is in your heart. It's okay. Cross those lines. Cross those barriers. Break them. Vámonos. New you. New excitement. New missions. New responsibilities. New dreams. New goals. Promise yourself. Promise it up to God. Tell him if he's willing to do that, hey, come in an agreement. Pray for it. You know? People that dog you or pushed you back or whatever, hey, amen. It's okay. It only hurts for a while, homie. It's okay. Trust me. Oh, what do you mean? You don't know what it, man. No. Like if you haven't had puppy love, like if you haven't had a love before, it's okay. It only hurts for a while. But there's other people there. You think if he's blessed you with one, he's not going to bless you with another one? Oh, what do you mean? I'm going to have two, Anthony? No, Dumbo. Means, hey, calmate. Pray. He's going to show you the way. It's going to be okay. You know? God's going to fulfill it. Trust me. You got to push it. You got to put yourself out there. Participate. Get involved. Oh, why? Get involved in the ministry. Go help out kids. Go help out the dying. Go to man. You really want a mission, homie? Go to a convalescent home. Ooh, that'll teach you. When you walk out, you'll never forget that smell. You'll never forget it. You know? Mm-hmm. Go participate in a convalescent home. What I need to go there for, Anthony? You might just have to go there. Go participate. Go help out. Go spare some of your time there. Go talk to the people that already lived their life, and you just sit there and just look and listen, homie. How some of them are already passing away, and they got sections, homes, of how long they got to live. They already gave them the time. If you don't take your life serious, if you think you're just here just because you're here, then go participate. I did that. I'll never forget the smell. I'll never forget the people. I'll never forget how they used to reach out so I could touch their hand, and I know that they were already crossing over. It was hard. People with dementia, and it's like, man, you just look up at the ceiling and thank the Lord, Thank you, God. Just, just let them find a way. Let them find the path. And it was sad because on the east side of the wall, they gave those people 3 months, and they had a whole line full of them, and they had their diapers, they had everything, and it's like, oh man, yeah, you could go pray for them, go pray for them. As you pray for them, you pray for yourself and pray for understanding. And pray that God gives you the wisdom and the knowledge of how to take life a little bit more serious. Life is very precious. I've never heard, Alfred, homie, never heard as they're dying, how much do I got in my bank account? Never heard that, dog. They're crying out for mercy. They're crying out for help. They're crying out for more, that the pain goes away, And as you sit there and you look at them, you just try to do the best that you can to fulfill that part. But that'll really shock your foundation, homie. That'll really set your mind straight. Then people are passing and you're still there. Ungrateful you. Man, I remember when I did that ministry for a while. Whew, Alfred, I'll never forget it, homie. Mm-hmm. That was the hardest ministry participation I ever did, homie. I've done a lot of things. I've helped out a lot of people. But the convalescent home really kicked me, homie. Really kicked me, dog.
I think it's humbling, right? It's just humbles you, because it puts you in the category where, well, it puts you in the faces. I mean, it puts you in the actual scenario, where each individual is heading. So you have an opportunity to actually look at that person's life, because they're telling you, right? They're having a conversation with you, but in the same, the next day you're there and you're like, hey, what happened to that person? No longer here,
Yeah.
You're no longer. But wait, I just talked to that person, right?
Yeah.
And so, I think what you're saying is so crucial and so important, because some people, 2025. I think what you're saying, and again, I'm just paraphrasing the things of what you want to push out. It's perfectly clear, but I think you're trying to push people to the next level of not being stagnant. Not being in the same situation. Like some people, I think a lot of folks that are hearing this potentially are going to look at this 2020, this video here in 2026 and say, that was me. Yeah. I was trying to move forward, but I couldn't. There was a way, that there was something there hindering.
Yeah. And
what you're saying is that, the opportunity that God gives us, you were telling the story about the person where you, for 4 months, think about it, for 4 months, you were, where's this guy? Where is he? And he's going through that transitional phase. For him he has a terminal illness that, is waiting to go see the maker, right? And you didn't know about it.
Yeah.
But now you're able to see how quickly, things change, and not only for that person, because that person is no longer here, but now you're starting to see, the hard work of others' labors. Like for example, them telling you, like, take it all, sell it. Like here, take it at price, even at probably giving it to you at wholesale, right?
Yeah.
But you were able to see that person's differences where he worked so hard for it. So therefore, he valued it. You see what I mean? Value the work, value everything that he had, and he was giving you what he valued, and so you pay for it because, hey, what he was telling you is like, hey, I value my work, I value what I'm giving it to you, I know the price that it is, and so now that we have here this great opportunity for some people to not only value the opportunity to move past to 2026 in a new way, in a new time, a new spiritual walk, a new the opportunity that many people are probably suffering right now. Their health is not good. But listen, be thankful now that you got it made. You have an opportunity to look at today and possibly tomorrow and possibly 2026. So what you're saying, man, is so important, so crucial, and people need to look past it.
They have to, bro. Mike said, I read a comment about Mike. He said something about money. Mm-hmm. I can't catch them all right here. Rich, oh man. Rich is not counted with money. It's counted with the peace of the Lord.
Man. Yeah.
And a legacy.
True.
It's very true, Holmes. You know, after you worked hard, after you did all this, you know, you have to enjoy your life. You have to be blessed. You have to keep focus on the cross in front of you, you know. A lot of times we're gonna fall. That's the truth. 2026 is coming up and we're gonna fall at times, but you gotta have the strength, the heart, and the desire and the love of Christ to pick you up, to step into this new year. Mm-hmm. And if you have nothing going on for yourself, then participate yourself in a convalescent home ministry. Honestly.
Oh man,
trust me,
bro. I believe me. I have a sister, and she's she's working at in a convalescent / homelessness, homeless. So she was I was catching up with her last week, a couple of my sisters, and we were having a discussion. And in this discussion, she was telling us about how people work and people at work, right? People that they work with, or the person, some of the people that she's working with, unfortunately, go in there with the wrong attitude.
Yeah.
They go in there. Their expectation is that if somebody goes in there and again, it's you're in that position or in that role to service people, right? You're there to help them.
Yeah.
And they're in this situation where they're struggling. Maybe in this life, some of them are struggling with the home, struggling with finances. And so they're able to provide finances. If they were able to provide a home temporarily for them, a place to stay, sleep.
Yeah.
And she was just upset. She was just telling me, I just hate it when coworkers, people within, people that I work with, how they go in there with, with the heart, with their heart just made out of stone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be able to look at somebody's necessities and even to get upset when they come and, ask you for something. And then you respond, your response is like, aren't you seeing we're talking here? Like how dare you, like this person here.
Yeah.
You because
it's
of them.
a bitter heart.
Yeah, because of them, you have a job.
Yeah.
And here you are mistreating somebody.
Yeah.
Telling them how dare they interrupt the conversation when you're there to help them and support them. And so she's upset. She's like, I can't believe these people, how they go in there with the wrong heart.
Yeah, but it's the truth.
Right?
A lot of times they just go in there close-minded and with a solid, ugly heart, and they could care less. Mm-hmm. And it's the truth. Nowadays, a lot of people don't take it to heart. A lot of people take it too serious on their position, and just arrogant is the word when they can't communicate. Don't take it professional and just be disrespectful. And it's sad because society has taught us that, homie. Us, because everybody's done it. Everybody, I don't care who you are, that we've all done it. Oh, I've never done it. Yes, you have. Stop lying, fool. And some of us take it a little bit further. Some of us run with it daily, and be disrespectful and have that big old head and, oh, this is my position, this is this, It reminds me of this individual when I was in parole. He said, back then, many years ago, the first time I paroled was many, many years ago. He said, man, F these hyenas. I'm like, and I was just listening, and he's talking to another vato. Man, these hyenas here, homie, F them. They're making $9 an hour, and they think they're Oprah Winfrey, Holmes. $9 an hour back then was a lot of feria,
Yeah.
But the attitude of being independent. You know, they don't need nobody, you know, and the same with the male, you know what I mean? Well, I don't need nobody, you know, I don't have it, I could just survive. Yeah, you can. So can the female survive, you know? But you get that mindset where it like to papas with everything. It's my world, it's my way or the highway.
Yeah.
And it's like this, and this is how we're gonna do it, you know? It's sad, but that's how society has turned a lot of people into that into that mindset, you know, and it's gacho, pero, you know, you just gotta pray for them people and like, hey, you know, it's all right, you know. I'd rather just bypass this than to deal with an attitude, you know. But in cases like that where you have to live there, you know, deal with certain issues, and like you said, if it wasn't for them, they wouldn't have that position, you know. Pero some people like their jale, some people don't. Some people come with that mentality like, hey, you know what, F everybody, F everything. I'm just here because I got to pay the bills. That's just part of it, you know? But you got to be thankful for wherever he's at, wherever he puts you at, you know? And that's what I mentioned earlier. You got to show that love of Christ no matter where you're at, you know?
Right.
You got to be professional about things. You know, you can't be disrespectful. Now, a lot of times I catch myself from being disrespectful, you know, like, I want to choke that individual. But God gives me the conviction, you know. He sets me to the side. Like today, I was at the shop and I was ready. I took off my tank top. I got the music bumping. I'm ready to get down with these medals. And two people come up and they're talking to my son, and I look out and it's two older mature individuals, and they're like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, and I seen what they had in their hand, you know, and they're like, hey, we want to give you this, you know. And me myself, you know, before you hand me that, do you know, I got him good, dog. I ain't, you know, but God gave me the conviction, right? He tried to give me the pamphlet, you know what I mean? And then I said, and I went like this to him, let me see. And he went like this, oh, the watchtower. And I just started, beep, 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 beep. I just started hitting him. Is that what you're trying to give me? You know? And he's all like, well, my brother, and then it convicted me. God convicted me right there. Like, hey, that's not godly like.
Right.
You know, that's not respectful. So I just shut myself up and I said, hey, you know what, my brother? Besides all that, besides of what Charles Russell did or whatever, you're still my brother in Christ and you're still my sister in Christ. And I love what you guys are doing. Because out of any religion, the Jehovah's Witnesses set the mark for outreaching and for evangelizing.
Yeah.
Though the beliefs and all that might be different, but I love you as a brother in Christ and I love you as a sister in Christ like that, you know? So encore with you guys' stuff, man, and props to you guys. And they said, okay. They nodded their head and they walked away, and I went into prayer. I said, my Lord, forgive me for these people are sharing your word, though it might be a little twisted for whatever they believed of the Charles Russell, the conviction of perjury, or, you know. Besides all that, forgive me for the way that I approach your workers, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want nothing bad to happen to me as I'm in front of this machine. And guess what, homie? Nothing bad happened to me. See, God will take care of his people, my brother. God, hey, I've seen it so many times, Alfred. Mock somebody, talk down on them, and they'll come back to you, you know? After I said my prayer, forgive me, Lord. And I treated them with love and respect after. And that was it. I went about my business and whatever. But see how easily it could have turned around? You know what? I don't hear this nonsense. Disrespectful, rude, arrogant. Why? Because I know it's okay. There's a way, a form, and a fashion, and a place, and a time for everything, homie. You know? While they're doing that, you can't break their spirit, homie. That's why you got to build them up. So what? Let God give the conviction. not you. Who are you to convict people? Nobody. You know? You're just an individual like they are. You're in the same rat race like they are. You know? But if you ain't doing what they're doing and going out there and showing the love of God in any way, shape, or form, you're losing, homie. You're arrogant, you're disrespectful, and you think your cabeza's that big. You know?
Yeah.
Marlene, that's the kind of crap you get from Kaiser people when you're in the hospital. They have bad attitudes. Can I say a joke? They must be Filipino. Nah, well, man, nah. A comedian said that one time. I've been to the Philippines. Oh, yeah, you have? Oh, man. I've been to Kaiser. They asked, what Kaiser? All Kaisers. Nah, man, nah, it's just a stupid joke. But, yeah, they are like that, you know? A lot of hospitals are like that. But, you know, there's some that are real respectful. There's some that are real kind, you know? And there's some that really look out for your best interest, homie, of you, not of themselves, you know? Mm-hmm. Those are the good doctors, I believe. A lot of them have a good heart like that, if and indeed they have the joy of the Lord with them, you know? And they do take their job as a blessing, not as a position, you know? Met a few doctors, you know, when I've been sick, and they're real kind. And I met some jerks, you know. I met some scandalous fools.
Yeah.
I told you about the time that I had something happen to me down there in my private, and I go to Kaiser, and they're like, "Okay, Mr. Tavares, you know, you have gonorrhea."
Golly.
Come again? Mr. Tavares, you have gonorrhea, you know, that's the pain and this, and like, you sure? He goes, yes, you know what I mean, we're gonna get back the results and this and that. Like, este güey está menso, homie. You know, like, what the hell? And he goes, look, we're gonna give you a tetanus shot, it's gonna be good, it's gonna help you out, it's still good, you know, like, I mean, like a dummy, and like, you know what, it's the shot, homie, you know what I mean, like, and I'm thinking to myself, man, what the heck?
What is that?
What's going on? You know what I mean? Like, nah. You know, I've heard the saying of Ice Cube peeing razor blades, but it didn't hurt like that, you know, and I've heard that it hurts. And I'm like, man, you know what, just give me the shot out. I'll deal with Maria later, you know what I mean? Like, let's see if this is true. I mean, what's going on here, you know? And I took the shot and I sat there and I'm like, este güey está menso. But not yet, homie. More mental for me because I let them take the shot. Like, you know what? This guy's an idiot. Oh, like, give me all my paperwork. I'm out of here, Holmes. You know, they're like, oh, you're going to get this shit? Give me everything. I'm out of here. I left. I went to another hospital in Orange County. And I got there and I'm like, hey, doc, you know, this, that. And they're like, okay, all right, yeah. All right. Does this hurt? Does this hurt? I'm like, yeah, a little bit. And he goes, I'll be right back. And he gets all the doctors and he goes, hey, you guys, this is Mr. Tavares, you know, I'm like, hey, doctor, such as a doctor. He goes, hey, tell him what Kaiser told you. Well, they told me I had gonorrhea. They all start laughing. And they what? I go, they gave me a shot. They all start laughing. I'm like, hey, man, what's the... He goes, Mr. Tavares, you ain't got gonorrhea. You got a hernia. God. So they come back and they give me the results, right? Which I know was nothing, right? I go back to Kaiser like 2 days later for the results, right? I'm like, hey, man, where's your freaking doctor at, man? I go, that vato said that I got gonorrhea. I didn't have nothing, and I know those tests are negative already. He goes, yes, Mr. Tavares, they're negative. Like, I don't have gonorrhea. It was a hernia, you know, because it did press towards the private of the area. I'm like, oh, man. But And that's tired. That's taking their holly a little bit too much, homie.
Yeah, but especially with the shot, bro. The tanning shot, bro.
Yeah.
Right after.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Damn, man. Crazy. But, New Year's coming up. So, like Chris said, it's right around the corner. So think differently, act differently, be differently, and be kind and wise to individuals. Just because you don't see eye to eye doesn't mean that you stick around. Go and do your own thing. Take off. You can't change people. You can't change their attitude. You can't change the way they live and how they are and how they represent themselves. It's okay. Don't waste your energy. I look at it as wasting your energy, your time. Your time is precious, You just never know when your number's up and you got to go meet the Lord. What did you do with my son? With my son's name? What did you do with the time that was given to you to represent my son? What did you do, To me, I know I'm a sinner. Everybody's a sinner. I know I ain't perfect like that, but anytime, any opportunity that God gives me, then I got to say and I got to do and I got to represent what he tells me to say and what to do, At times when I get rebellious and I want to fight, he takes a lot of things away from me, from in front of me, so I won't get into a fight. It's not because I'm a really bad ASS. It's just because he'll prevent anything from happening in front of us, and protect us and guide us, just like that he's protecting and guiding that individual too, even though he's stubborn and he's ignorant and he wants to disrespect or he wants to fight, It's just different, and it's a blessing, Holmes. You know what I mean? We can't take life lightly like that, We really have to take in consideration that, hey, no man is promised tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
And if you really sit down and think, let that marinate, if and indeed you've lived through hell, if and indeed you had a hard life, think about life after death, what destination you want to head out to. What's your path looking like right now? At times when I'm just by myself, I always think about, am I pleasing God enough? Am I doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing? Am I really giving it at my all? Where will I end up at after I leave this place? Will I go through the tunnel? Will the angels pick me up? Will the demons torment me? Will I be down there in the flames? Oh no, hey, then it can't be like that. No, I'm speaking reality. Nobody's how can I say, nobody escapes the flames just like that, homie, only through God, through Christ, he's the one that could help you out. If you really sit down and think of the reality of life, of how long we have it for it's just like a vapor, it's just like blink of an eye. It's quick, How do you ever sit down and think, oh man, that was a long time ago? That wasn't that long ago. It was many moons ago. That moon runs fast, homie, because I can still remember when I was 15, 14, 20, 25, It was just right around the corner. It went pretty fast. I never thought I would see 21. I swear to you, I never thought that. Now I'm already in my 50s. It went by fast. It went by quick. So for sure, we're going to go meet the Maker. You're being expired as the day go by. Every day that goes by. Are you prepared? Are you through just? Are you alert? Are you at your best? How is it going to be when you die? How is it going to be when the rigor mortis kicks in and your spirit leaves your body? Are you ready to go eagerly, or are you going to be fighting to try to stay in this carcass, on this shell? Are you ready? Do you ever sit down and think as you're laying down in bed and you close your eyes, will that be the last time that you close your eyes? Forever. Will your heart still keep pumping? A muscle that never stops. The only time it stops is when you sneeze. A muscle. They could try to duplicate it, but it would never be like the one that God gave you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they could replace kidneys. They could replace that. They could do this. Oh, we could give you a pacemaker. Pacemaker is just a jump starter. That's all it is. But nobody could do and give you just like the way God gave you that heart. You ever thought about that would be the last time it pumps its last batch of blood? For you to have oxygen, blood flowing through your mind and through your feet and through your nerves and moving your hands and speaking and talking and walking and moving your neck like the way he designed you to be. Would that be the last time? Will you wake up on the last time that when you lay down to sleep? Will that be the last time you go to sleep? Will you wake up? What will happen when you wake up and your eyes are open and you're bare open in front of God? Now you could see God now because the flesh ain't there no more. Your feelings and all that, they're gone on the shell. On the body itself is gone. The bones, the structure, the nerves, ligaments, hamstrings, the muscles are gone. It's just you and your spirit with God. That's it. Your soul, your very soul is in front of a representation of yourself being, homie. You yourself, the representation of the name that was given before you were even born and created. God knew how many hairs you had on top of your head, and he already knew the name that they would give you. Mm-hmm. So when he speaks up and he says, Antonio, it's not going to be the Antonio that people knew you as they spoke to you. You're going to hear the name that created you. Are you going to be shameful for the things that you've done? Are you going to lift up your head and say, hey, God, I did the best that I could. I lived like this, but you know what? I pound my chest and have mercy upon me when it was the time to do it. Or are you just going to say, I take it like a man? There's a lake of fire. What if they drag you down, homie? You ever think about how big they're going to be? How evil they're going to look? How scary they're going to be? Not even if you were watching in 3D, 1,000 super juiced up exorcist movie won't even compare to the fear that you see in the eyes of these demons when they drag you down, homie. And that's the truth. How they're going to look. You're going to see their veins in their eyes. You're going to see everything. And your soul's going to be crying out, mercy, have mercy upon me. You think he's going to listen, homie? Do you think he's going to have mercy? When you didn't have mercy for the people, the Jehovah Witnesses? But you didn't have mercy upon the people that God put in front of you that you had to go work with them? That kind of mercy? That kind of respect? That kind of love? You didn't do it to them people, so why should I do it to you? Oh, well, you're the God that created everything. I gave you freedom. I gave you life. What did you do to it? Partied, tattooed, went to prison, and you never repented. And you died for your barrio. You died for those drugs. Made you feel like a god the first time you tried it. And you kept on chasing that high, thinking that you're gonna be like a god. There is only one God. There's only one feeling of a God, and that's me. You could have that feeling when you come into my kingdom. That high that we try to chase as humans when we're getting high, I bet you when we go to heaven, it's a gazillion times more powerful and stronger than that. But the flesh tries to reach that destination, which it can't. It lies to you. It deceives you, sucks you up, takes your teeth out of you, takes your veins away from you, takes your hair away from you, sometimes even give you cancer. Starts sucking you up, and next thing you know, that high that you try to get to feel like a god, it didn't work, homie. It deceived you. That's what you did with your time. You're out there selling drugs and doing this. So you're in front of me now. You ever thought about those? Have you even imagined what the word eternity means? You ever sit down and think when you get in front of him, how is he gonna look? Are you gonna be eager to find him? Eager to go chase him? I know this, Raza. For the wrong that I've done, for the wrong that I'm gonna do, for the wrong that I've done now for this day, tomorrow, and forevermore, I will always pound my chest and have mercy upon me, because I ain't worthy of this life. When I take that last breath, the last oxygen millimeter into your lung, and the last of that little antenna of your lung that gets that last oxygen, may I cry out to you like the days that I felt good, like the days that I needed you. Let me give my last breath and tell you thank you, and have mercy upon me. Because when you get in front of him, it's a day late and a dollar short, homie. Ain't no chump change there, homie. It's all or nothing. I will gladly bow down in front of him. For you are King. The life that you gave me, forgive me. May what I did in this life, which you already gonna go and judge me for, may you have mercy. And any opportunity that it came down and I had changed my life, it's all yours. Take it. Because in this life, homie, you know that you did wrong, you should be in the pit of hell. But by his mercy and his grace, you're still living. And guess what? Your heart is still thumping. And the oxygen in your lungs is still intaking. And the tongue, that's your blessings and your curses, is still working on me. You would never have none of that if it wasn't the mercy and the grace of the Lord. So don't be too prideful. Calmate. It'll be okay. Because there is a God that's watching. You might not understand the plan. You might not understand what he has in store for you. But you go, homie. And you keep on walking to your last dying breath, homie. And always ask for mercy and for forgiveness. Because you ain't perfect. I don't care who you are. I don't care how many Bible quotes you throw in. Because the demons even do that. The devil does that. That's his job. Flip things around. But when you speak the truth is the truth, and that's the word. The word became flesh, homie. The word was with God. The word is God. The word. Speak. Yeah. Understand it. Know it. Love God. Understand Him. You ready? You ready, Alfred?
Wow, bro. You're speaking facts, bro. What you're saying, bro, it's so crucial and so true. I mean, man, you know? I mean,
you ready, homie?
I am ready, bro. 2026.
You ever sit down and close your eyes and think about those things?
All the time, bro. All the time.
When the rigor mortis kicks in and your flesh is already separating from your spirit and your soul.
Yep.
You ever think about how white you're gonna be?
Yep.
You ever think about the heavens of the heavens and where you're gonna go travel?
That's right.
And go present your case in front of the Lord, the biggest court that you ever been in your life. Because I've been through superior courts, I've been to municipal courts, I've been through all the courts that I could think of. But not to the court that you're gonna go when you go see the Maker.
That's true. That's true. The Bible says that when we go visit the Maker, or when we go into the courts of the courts, books will be open, and everybody will be judged according to what the books has said. So you're constantly thinking. I'm constantly thinking. And just every day, I think every day we live our life just living it minute by minute and just thanking God, and in the same token asking for forgiveness. Because, as we continue, just think about it. We are human beings. We're beings that just rely heavily on just the unseen and the unknown, which is we rely heavily on what God already knows and He's seen. So now our hearts needs to pair up to what we know and what the scriptures say. And so every time, what you're talking about, it's a constant communicate, constant thinking of, where I'm going to be. It's even that, I don't know if you mentioned this, but the legacy, talking about legacy, you're talking about, our kids, what is the legacy we're going to leave for them and stuff. And I'm always just thinking, hey, I can't give them, this house is going to, soon enough, I might be out of it, right?
Yeah.
I might go. Will they stay with it? I don't know. Yeah. It's up to them if they want to continue the payments, right? Yeah. But at the end it says, what is the legacy? What tangibly can I give them? And that is just, everything that we learn, everything, our relationship with God. And I think that's very crucial. That buys that, just the humbleness, just be able to be humble.
Does after we spoke, the way that I spoke right now, that I think about every day, does the rapture worry about you? Do you worry about the rapture?
See, that's one of the a lot of people asks. I think a lot of people say, what's going to happen after the end of time? What is it going to happen? What's going to happen?
I don't worry about it, my brother. I don't. I could care less, homie. Mm-hmm. I don't give 2 cents about the rapture, homie. Mm-hmm. Because the rapture could happen to me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And say, hey, Lord, this is my rapture.
Right.
Let me worry about this, Mm-hmm. Let me try to always give you your credit, your glory, your props, everything, so I know that I'm doing my job the best that I can whenever I can.
True.
I don't worry about the white horse. I don't worry about Wormwood, the 1,000 years. It don't worry to me, dog. Mm-hmm. Because I know it's gonna happen. What time? I don't know. I don't care about that, bro. I don't. What I do care is what we need to do while we're alive.
That's true.
Don't worry about the next 10, 15, 20 years, the Antichrist is going to come, the seal of the mark. Hey, don't worry about that. Throw that out of your mind.
Yeah.
Worry about the rapture when it's going to come to you.
Yeah.
Don't let that happen to somebody else. Because if we do that thing, we're worried too much about the conspiracy.
Yeah. True.
About the theory. Mm-hmm. And people are caught up with the book of Revelations and all that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. And trust me, you're not going to understand it if you just read it.
Yeah.
You got to have a relationship with God and understanding with him that, hey, you know what? No te preocupes de eso.
Yeah, true.
Worry about me now. Don't worry about what's going to happen and what's already being it's already in the books.
Mm-hmm.
You know? That's what what's the name said when he fell asleep. He's seen everything.
Right.
Right? So it's already there. It was in the vision.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So worry about you. Worry about your rapture.
Yeah.
And do your part, you know? Do the best that you can.
That's true. What you're saying is so true, man. We're so worried about what tomorrow has when we haven't even accomplished today. And I think that's very important, right? You know, we can't worry about what's going to happen. And I know many people will say, well, I'm worried about that portion of it, but make sure that you're right now. That you're good now.
Yeah.
Because what you do now, you know, will actually help when that time comes.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important. That's why what you're saying right now when you're speaking about, hey, everyone, get ready for 2026.
Yeah.
You know, let's focus. I know some of us is like, well, I still got Christmas. I still got Thanksgiving. I still got it. Yes, I get it. Yes, we got it. We're talking about in the spiritual, like, hey, be good. You know, be good. Be kind. Be kind. Be comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, focus now what you have now on hand, you know? And it's important because, you know, tomorrow it's not given. You know, but today, you know, today, what do we do today? Yeah. You know, what are the changes, the adjustments we made today? And that's crucial because that's going to really help us for tomorrow.
Yeah, well.
You know, right? Because everybody's going to say, oh, I should have done, right? There's always that saying, right? Oh, I wish I should have done that. I should have done that. Well, today is the time to do those things.
Yeah.
So for tomorrow, you're going to say, I'm so glad I took care of those yesterday. You know what I mean? How's your spiritual walk? How's your, you know, how are you right now? Really, mentally, physically, spiritually, how are you?
Yeah.
And that's a good question that many people should ask themselves now.
Yeah.
Are you struggling? Okay, well, good, because that's 80% of the population. Everyone struggles. Everyone struggles, right?
Everybody. You ain't Jesus.
Exactly.
You ain't Jesus, homie. You know?
Everybody struggles, man. But how do we overcome? I think the crucial question is, how do you overcome these challenges?
Yeah.
And I think when you start looking at, oh, I failed on that one. I failed on that one. Okay, well, there's another opportunity you're going to have to, you can do it right. Now this time.
You can do it right.
Do it again.
You can do it like this. You could do it like that and be a better person.
100%.
And, understand people, you know, and relate to them, you know, and that don't mean you're going to be disrespectful and just go about yourself, homie, you know?
Correct.
Like I mentioned earlier, you can't change everybody.
Correct.
You can't force them to do certain things. It's okay. Then just do you and be blessed. And a new year's coming up and you start a new vision, a new desire, new goals in your mind and your heart and your spirit, you know, and grow and go and move and do, homie. Shake off out of the old, you know. Get rid of all those thoughts. Get rid of that anger, that bitterness, that scare of jumping into a new commitment. Go do it. Vida loca. Everything's gonna be okay. He's seen you through all this time. He's gonna see you again, homie. You know, it's another year, new start. Represent yourself right. Put your shoulders back. Smile. Even if your grill's all messed up like mine, it's okay. You know what I mean? We're just doing this. It's fine, you know? Or me, I want to shave off my beard, but it doesn't because it attracts that solo lifestyle. So that's fine. I'll keep this damn thing. You know what I mean? I'll brush it better. I'll dye it more. And yeah, what's up, man? Hey, feed me, you know, whatever. You know, and God loves you. It's all cool. You know what I mean? What's going down, Brown? And I'll go into the shows. I'll go record. I'll go do more. You know, if anything that's going to be more and bringing you into this podcast, and we talk about reality, we talk about life, we talk about problems, we talk about God, we talk about drugs, we talk about prison and all that. At the end, it does change you. Then all that, hey, what's going down, Brown, at the car shows, it is beneficial, homie.
Yeah.
It is going to help out. How do I get paid? Hey, Anthony, you making feria? I'm barely making any feria, but it's going through, you know? Yeah. How? It's going through my webpage. So here's the thing. It goes through the webpage. It goes through that avenue. It goes through the social media. It comes back over here. It goes back over there. And it's beneficial, you know? If I gotta look this with the tango and the shades and the brocha, hey, what's up, and speak the way that I used to speak, well, let me cash out on it. And let God get the credit, you know? Oh, so Rockin Chicano belongs to God. Man, it's just my fat face on there, homie. God gave me that name, so let him deal with it. Let him get the credit. He's the one that's really gonna move everything, you know. It ain't me. I just gotta be there. I gotta be there willingly. Let's go do it. Volunteer. Vámonos. Push it. You know. But if it's a new year, it's a new start. I got a new goal. I got a new vision. I gotta do things. I gotta help out more people. I gotta push. I gotta do. You know. I gotta the finances that we have, like you said, the house. It's up to your kids whether or not they're gonna take it. Keep on paying the payments, whatever, whatnot. Hey, Holmes, I'm trying to expand the kingdom of God while I'm trying to build up my little empire for my kids, and it's vice versa. So it comes back. Boom, boom. Build his, he builds mine. He build his, he builds mine. And it's like, okay, cool. I have something for my kids. But the most important things that I leave with my kids to understand what it is to have parents. To what is it to have a life.
Yeah.
To what is it to depend on God. You know, my son says, Dad, there's no way. Dad, there is no way, Dad. I go, what? We're making it. There's no way. It's all God. I go, thank you. You know? And I'm like, man, I turn around and tell my wife, man, I hate having my back against the wall. I hate it, you know? Let me jump forward and this is how I need you to do and this is, you know?
Yeah.
You could sit there and we could whine and we could complain and we could do all this. But to the nitty gritty, homie, God is moving those pieces, but you got to be willing to do it.
Yeah.
2026, homie.
2026.
Vámonos, recio, homes. I'm ready. Put the pedal to the metal, homie. Put up my hat, my little tanguito in the shades, put that bad boy on 4th, 5th gear, you know? There was a comment made today. He's not here. Angel One. He goes, hey, bro, he called me up. And he said, hey, bro, you think you could invite such as us? Because he has a cruise night on the 30th. I think the 29th or the 30th in Hollywood. It's going to be big. I already know it. You think you could invite such and such? I go, well, I'll give you the number and then you call him up if I find the number, you know? And some people had already called me up because they want to go. And he said, oh, and I had to go defend you because somebody said, what does Rockin Chicano have to bring to the table? And I'm like, wow, you know, I started thinking, I said, oh, thank you, homie, for defending me. Oh, yeah, man. You know, and I started thinking, what do I got to bring to the table? Jeez, I bet you whatever they brought to the table, I'll outblow them by 1,000 times, you know, not saying that boastfully, but what God has built up for me, what I've established and what I've pushed and what I represent and what I do and how would I do it and how do I push and how do I do this, you know? At the end of it, he gets all the credit. You stop by here, you hear a little bit about God, you know? When do I tell you, here's some yesca, you know what I mean? Here's some pisto. In my shop, you guys are going to ask for beer, so why am I going to say I ain't got it? There it is. You want it? No hay pedo. I'm not going to give it to you, you know? It's there. That's what you want. You guys ask for it all the time, you know? But you know what I represent. You know that I don't drink. You know that I don't do this. You know that I talk about God. You know this is what we do, you know? You know my faith is with him. You know that everything that I have is because of him. You know that faith as small as a mustard seed that has expanded.
Yeah.
And he's the one that he's gave me everything. So why would I turn back on him? So everything that I have, it's his representation. How? That's what I got to bring to the table. All of that, homie. You know? And I was like, man, what do I got to bring to the table? And I just started laughing and smiling like, man, couldn't keep up, homie. Even if it was given to you, you wouldn't even do it, homie. That's why a lot of people ain't like that. A lot of people won't be like me, you know? And it's not to please the people like that. It's not to look what I can do. Like what's his name from Mad TV. Look what I can do.
Oh, yeah.
Stewie.
Yeah, Stewie.
It's not about that, dog. You know what it is? You know what it is? Mm-hmm. That I'm able to do it for God, homie, because he gives me the ability to do and to push.
That's right.
I take full responsibility, dog, in life like that. I go all the way out. It's all or nothing, homie. And that's the truth. It's all or nothing. If it's been put in front of you, what, you ain't gonna go do it? Mm-hmm. Whatever little case that I could build, if it's chroming out some bumpers and doing all this and that, can I give God a little bit of credit?
Yeah.
Are they gonna see like, man, homie, you're really eager about this thing called life? Oh yeah, homie, because I didn't have one before. Mm-hmm. Now I take it serious, you know? Ah, man, everything must be peaches and creams y toda la fregada at your pad, homes, you know what I mean? Like, man, you have no clue. We fight just like you. We cuss just like you. In my marriage, and it's just like you. All my kids, just like you, homie. You know? But it's a fight. It's a battle. Mm-hmm. And I can keep on pushing. God gives the credit. He knows what he's doing with us. The ability to have it in front of you and you don't do nothing with it, eres más pen.
Sativo.
Que la retiznada, homie. You know?
True.
And that's the truth, dog. If it's been put in front of you, you're going to go do it. Go full speed, Holmes.
Yeah.
And at the end, you're going to give God the credit. And if you don't, well, that day that you take your last breath, homie, and I described it earlier,
yeah,
he will bring it to your attention, homie. He's going to be like, but what about this and what about that?
Yeah.
I want to be able to please him, though.
Yeah.
Even when I let him down. You know? This thing called life, I take it serious. This thing called life, homie, has been very hard on me. I was taught never to give up and to always be a competitive mind, heart, and spirit. To take it to the top and never slow down. It would never be easy in this thing called life. It wasn't given it to us. Nothing was given to us in the hand. Mm-hmm. We had to go get it. And we're going to keep on getting it. But the thing that I realize is that when you receive it in your hand, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to pass the baton to somebody else? Are you going to run with that bad boy and show the next man how to have a better life? How to really break things down? Or are you just going to be sitting on top of the big old chair and look at me, build up these barns here and this kingdom here because this is where I'm going to sit at and this is where I'm going to die at? Foolish person, for your soul is required tomorrow.
Godly.
No, homie. It don't roll like that. I want to be able to get everything that I can in life and pass it down. What's up? What do you got? Hey, you know what? Here's 3 candies, homie. Well, I'll tell you what, homie. Take these 2 and this last one, the 3rd one, and leave me a little cachito. I'll be good with that.
Yeah.
I'll be good with that. You know? Because I'd rather bless people than to be the one to be blessed. And you know why people have a heart like that, homie? Because they understand the meaning of life. They understand how hard it's been. And nothing in this world could fulfill that void except for the love of God, homie. Nothing, homie. No riches, no nothing, carnal. Not a fancy boat, a fancy car, none of that, homie. Nothing could fill that void except for the love of God. When he shows you that and you're able to be blessing people, homie, that's the best high you could get in life. Because you're being obedient. When you become obedient, homie, it's the greatest blessing that you could ever have. You know? What is it? Obedience is better than what? Sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Come on now. Or you just gonna sacrifice? You say, no, homie. Be obedient, dog. Everything will be okay. How about the next man? Damn, dog, we got deep, homie.
Whew. Wild. But it's good.
Neelan said, battle is within.
Yep.
The battle's within yourself, homie. You could become your worst enemy. I don't fear nobody like that, Alfred. I fear myself because I know what I've done in life. And I know what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
So you have to always just humble yourself. It'll be okay. Give yourself a break. You ain't got to go beat everybody down no more. You ain't got to go out there strapped up in a ranfla and go take care of business. No. Cut that crap out. Give yourself a break. You ain't got to be the baddest vato because there's going to be more bigger and baddest dudes out there. Trust me. You ain't nothing. And I learned that through prison. I thought I met some crazy people. No, homie. You literally meet insane people, homie. Crazy people. You thought you were crazy? No. You meet the best of the best.
Yep.
Of this world, homie. The best of that life.
True.
All right, pues. Anything you got to say, Alfred?
No, brother. Thank you for sharing, bro. 2026, man. 2026. I just got to say, man, 2026 is coming quick. And some of us need to make quick adjustments to align ourselves to, to the reality that we need to, we need to be closer to God and carry on that legacy, man. Carry on that next plan that He has for us, man. So thank you, Anthony, for sharing, brother. Appreciate it.
Thunder Loco, new character unlocked, level 10 Cholote. That's right. It's called Common Sense and Behave.
That's right.
Put on your big boy pants and work like every normal person. Yeah, but still, Holmes. Yeah, that's part of it. That's part of it, Thunder Loco. It's part of it. It's part of it. But other than that, you still have to have a kind heart, respectful. Be genuine, be loving, be understanding, and have an open heart and help out others, Holmes, because that's part of it of working and like normal persons. That's fine, but nothing came easy, we're all blessed, and you gotta be a blessing to other people,
Yep.
Right?
Yes, sir. 100%.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you guys for always being my friend. Thank you guys for always sharing. Thank you guys for always participating. Thank you guys always for liking and following the reels and following me through the shows. You know what I mean? And the name is Rockin Chicano. It does belong to God. It just has my fat face in there. Right. Everything I have belongs to God. And that's the way you guys should have it too. It belongs to God. All right, pues. We end this holla today.
Thank you.
Much love and respects.
Take care.
Deep, Humphrey.